God damn, I love Eyy's music. Excuse me, would you happen to be Albas? And you are? We're Sarah's, friends. Friends? Unfortunately, I have to inform you that Sarah doesn't have any friends. Perhaps you've misunderstood. Again with this. You should really be expecting it at this point. Beating around the bush isn't going to help. Let's just get straight to the point. We're travelers. When we arrived at the city and were completely clueless, Sarah was extremely hospitable and accommodating to us. We are incredibly grateful to her. However, it seems that her goodwill worked against her, as I hear she is now being punished for her actions. The leader of the Shevitz organization that you work for is apparently going to take measures against her. I had heard about this from Rudo, so it was you that... Please, could we speak with you, even if for just a moment? Sorry, but we have our own issues to deal with as well. Even if you come to me with all that in mind, this isn't a matter that can be taken lightly. About Sarah, when we first met, she had introduced herself to us as Rune. Oh? What? What did you just say? Albas Brusque? Albas's brusque expression. Expression changed in an instant. It seems that anyone deeply connected will have quite the reaction to the name Rune. Now we just need one more push. I promise you, if this matter is not of your concern, then we will not press you any further. I understand that this is incredibly presumptuous of me, but I simply want to confirm a few things. I seek to have a discussion with you. Shall we take this elsewhere, then? Yes! Progress! Our lodging is just on the outskirts of town. Is that alright with you? Just the two of you. Yes, what of it? Don't you feel that bringing a man back to your lodging at this time of night is rather careless? Oh my! Careless? What makes you say that? And what does being a man or a woman have to do with anything? Well, I suppose this can be chalked up to cultural differences. Regardless, the answer is no. If you want to talk, then let's do so in the park in the central square. At this time of day, there are still people around, and it should be much quieter than this place. Please go ahead. I'll leave as soon as I settle the bill. Well, that went well. Well, just what was with his attitude? He seemed rather nice, actually. Sylphine? What's the matter? I have a feeling that in this place's culture, men are still predominantly in a position of power. Huh? That can't be. Considering how much their civilization has progressed, that is rather hard to believe. You never know. Without any craft, then a normal girl can't really beat a guy in a fight. Rügenheide was like that before too, right? A male-centered society where brute force means everything. Just how long ago was that? Still, that does explain his initial demeanor. Can't quite tell whether this city is progressing or regressing. Oh man, the social commentary. Is something on your mind? No, it's just thought that it's kind of scary if that was the case. Violent crimes, though seldom, still do occur in Rügenheide. The ones born from sexism are just about non-existent. Yes, she knows this. That is true, but when even things as simple as this have to be explained to be understood, do you think we could ever understand each other? You do have a point. However, if you become fearful from just that, the name of Rügenheide will be tarnished. As long as there are no major obstacles between us, I'm sure we can talk and reach a mutual understanding. Yeah, I know. Scene transition! Sorry to keep you waiting. Thank you for taking time to meet with us. By the way, who advised you to talk to me about all this? Oh. We give Albas a short rundown of the events till this point. I see, so it's her, eh? Is he doing well? Doing well? I suppose he is. If he weren't, he couldn't possibly be able to down that much alcohol. I see, that's just like him. If I may presume, does this mean that it's been a while since you've last met? Yes, it has been quite a while. Let's just say things happened. Oh boy, a lot of things, violent things, for over a period of a couple of years. With murders. In any case, why don't we introduce ourselves properly? My name is Albas Folster. I serve as the CTO of Shevitz Enterprise. I am Ratona, a traveler. I am Selphine, Ratona's fellow travel companion. It's a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance. Excuse me, I have an unrelated question that I was hoping you could answer. It's been bothering me since yesterday. You mentioned some sort of title, but I don't quite understand what it means. Rudo also mentioned something similar. CTO, it's short for Chief Technological Officer. You can think of it as the person in charge of the technical side of things. So CEO would be Chief Executive Officer. I see. I think. Rudo is the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer. Ha ha, told ya. In other words, he's at the topmost position of Shevitz Enterprise. Whoa. That's a lot easier to understand. It seems that these titles serve as positions when introducing oneself. Chief Executive. So basically like the president? Well, technically not quite, but, well, the nuance is the same. I see. I take it your home country doesn't have entities such as corporations. Wait a minute. Do forgive me for commenting, but if I'm not mistaken, you appear much older than Rudo Shevitz. So how is it that he is allowed to wield absolute authority? You sure are straight to the point, aren't you? Coming from a seniority based on age and experience. Well, you have a point. Rudo is a mere 22 years of age, after all. 22? Is it Ratona or Selphine say that? Well, I'm going to go as Ratona. 22? Just 3 years apart from me? He's just 3 years away from Ratona. With that expression of his. Amazing, isn't he? So much younger than I am, but he's been able to keep a company this huge running so well. So do you mean he's the leader of a really huge organization? That he is. In terms of sheer scale, Shevitz is the largest on the entire Outer Pole. Well, then is there some kind of ceremony for those people for them to become leaders? Ceremony? Yes, a ceremony. Well, it's not quite a ceremony. Unless you're referring to promotion parties? Party? It's a celebratory event. Well, during our travels, we've heard of this country. Whenever they choose their next ruler, using a ceremony called the Path Down, they inherit all of their predecessors' memories, experiences, and knowledge. It's a kind of culture wherein the descendants, the next generation, will be able to gain the qualifications they need to be the next ruler. A path down that is continued for many generations serves to bolster the strength of that country, and also shows a strong unity with the citizens. You're definitely not giving way too much information on this topic and make it not obvious that that's where you come from. Is that true? For someone so young to inherit such a large kingdom, well, company in this case, he has to be qualified to be. So you need a ceremony like that, right? By inheriting knowledge, can I take it to mean that they are educated and groomed by their predecessors? Educated? Well, that is part of it, but it's not something as indirect. The experiences and knowledge are directly transmitted. Albus tilts his head. He's not going to understand that. Directly transmitted, but not via speaking, writing, or teaching, eh? There is no such thing, then. Us folk in the Outer Pole have to use words, speech, more concrete forms of communication to convey what we're thinking and feeling. There's no other way for us to do so. I'm going to conveniently forget that the rest of the world, outside of the Outer Pole, can use magic. It's impossible for us to directly transmit knowledge, as you say. So I suppose that in the Outer Pole's culture, there is no such ceremony to install leaders, as you mentioned. Why do you ask? Well, that's because she's curious, because she's also a ruler. We're wandering around different countries, traveling to learn and study more about the world, you see. By experiencing all sorts of cultures, we'd like to expand our knowledge on the vastness of this world. That sounds like quite the undertaking, especially considering the world's state of affairs lately. I envy you both. If I weren't from the Outer Pole, I would have loved to travel the world as well. Uh-huh. Oh, but I digress. Let's get back to the heart of the matter. For confirmation's sake, you said that Sarah introduced herself as Rune, correct? Yes. You knew about Rune, didn't you, Albas? Did I know her? We were like family up until she died. Rune and Rudo's father, Sid, we had been very good friends. Sid and I built Jevit's enterprise from the ground up. Impressive. He's quite the influential individual. Very much so. Hertzwan sure knows all sorts of people. He grew up with them. Had been. Does that mean Sid is... He passed away about 3 years ago. But Rudo is still 22 years old. He must have still been awfully young. 19. There's quite a long story behind that. Yeah, it is. Well, then, could you please tell us about the relationship between Rune and Sarah? Are they one and the same? Yes, we're completely in the dark about what's going on. Please, tell us more about Sarah. Just, who is she? Is that her real name? Her real name, eh? That name is a term we use in order to pertain to Sarah. As for whether it qualifies as a name, well, I suppose that depends on your definition of what a name is. Judging by how you're referring to her, should we take that to mean that she really is being treated as a slave? Excuse me? You're merely travelers and know nothing of the customs of this land. However, from where we come from, treating people like belongings is something that should not ever be tolerated. So right now, we cannot even hide our astonishment regarding this state of affairs. I see. You two were born and raised in a very good country. But just to clear up any misunderstandings, I have to inform you that she is no slave. It was just a few decades ago that slavery was outlawed in this country. Although there are still some wretched folks out there who practice it in absolute secrecy. Then that makes even less sense. Why do you refer to her as if she were an object? It's because she's a robot, buddy. Betcha. Probably. I think I'm right. Precisely because she is an object. You asked about her name earlier, yes? The word Sarah is a term we use to refer to her. It means Synapse Architecture Review and Assessment. Oh boy, stretching acronyms. We took the first letters of each word from the title of the report written up when she was first constructed. Well, that's not actually that bad then. That's why it technically isn't a name, it's an acronym. What? Constructed? It doesn't make sense. Sarah was made? Sarah is a product of Jevit's Enterprise's last president, Sid Jevitz, created to handle mana-related tasks in the Outer Pole. Sarah is a machine. She's a robot! She's a robot! You must be joking. A machine? Although our company Jevitz Enterprise is well known for mana to energy conversion and energy supply services. Wait just a minute here. Machine? By machine, do you mean something like a clock? Well, it's certainly on a completely different dimension of complexity, but yes, in a sense, I suppose I do. With all due respect, I just cannot believe that. Oh boy, the cultural clash. Where the dude from the science world can't believe what happens in the magic world, and the ladies from the magic world can't believe what happens in the science world. It's great! Well, I suppose most people wouldn't. Machines do not possess sentience, do they? Whoever was with us yesterday was clearly sentient and had a strong sense of self. She was aware of her surroundings, knew right from wrong, exercised judgment, and was able to display compassion for others. Intriguing. Would you happen to be acquainted with philosophy? Not really. I wouldn't say I'm on that level of familiarity. Is it a philosophical zombie? When asked on the difference between what is and isn't human, being able to go straight to the questions about its perception ability is proof that one has been thoroughly educated in these matters. Your homeland truly must be rich in a variety of aspects. I'm envious. Wait just a moment. In regards to assertion that Sarah's a machine, all I can see is an excuse for you to treat her as you do now. I'm answering your questions, fully aware that you most likely would be in disbelief. You're free to believe me or otherwise. In fact, if I were in your place, I probably wouldn't believe it myself. Realistically speaking, there's no way to verify your... Rotona, let him speak, okay? In any case, we're both at a dead end anyway. This way we can see if he's telling the truth or not, okay? So she does mean to use that, then. Is it a comcraft? Erratum? Very well. The younger-looking girl seems to hold the power in the relationship. Quite intriguing. Regardless, we still find it difficult to swallow your claim that Rune is indeed a machine. Perfectly sensible. To be honest, much of it remains a mystery to myself as well. Albas? Yes? If you don't mind, we'd like to show you a kind of craft, if you so please. Manacraft, you say? Are you two Manacrafters? Man, I thought you were supposed to be bright. Yes, we are Manacrafters who've come from a country far away from here. You said you were travelers, but to think you were from the inner pole, are you sure about this? Consider where you are right now. What about mana shock? According to Rudo, we had 3 or 4 days remaining. We are shouldering that risk by voluntarily being here. I see. I think I now have a grasp on how gravely you two view this matter. Seeing as you're willing to divulge all this, should I take it to mean that you're deadly serious about all this? It wouldn't be fair to keep one-sidedly asking you for information, after all. I do appreciate the sentiment, but unfortunately I don't have the time. I'll essentially be trapped in the office from tomorrow until next week or so, with little to no free time to spare. I still have some matters to attend to after this as well. That won't be an issue. This craft will be over in the blink of an eye. Comcraft! Just as she says, this craft won't take much of your time. Not quite sure I follow. What should I do exactly? For the meantime, all we need is your trust in us. All we wish to do is exchange information with you. If there's any information or knowledge you'd like us to impart, then we can share it directly with you at the same time. Sharing information directly? Before we go any further, this means that you don't have any reservations with talking with us, right? Yes. Though I do have my limits. It's just that I don't have the time to explain everything in full. It's alright, you'll understand in a few minutes. Will you trust us? Trust him, okay. I trust you. Thank you very much. Alright, Rotona, could I have a little mana? Your wish is my command. This sure is quite the turn of events. Didn't think you were going to be magicked on by a couple of, Are they still teens? Yeah, they are, aren't they? Rotona's 19. A couple teenage mana ladies. Can't believe I got to see Manacraft perform in the flesh. I'm a little anxious. We'll explain further on the other side. Now... Other side? Magic power? Oh god, she's glowing. Selphine had already begun converting mana. She's so concentrated on the task that she doesn't even notice my speaking anymore. There's no naturally present mana, so my internal mana isn't stabilizing. I didn't expect a conversation to need this much concentration and stamina. Just how did Rotona create her sword so quickly? Kind of a spur of the moment thing. Alright, this should do it. Selphine opens her eyes wide. Whoa! Seems that she's finished preparations. Is it just me, or are her eyes more radiant than before? The sheen of her hair, too, even her skin seems to be radiating a weak light. Shall we begin? Yes. Excuse me for a moment. Selphine pressed her right index and middle fingers together and lightly touched Albus's temples. Are you all right? Seems to be taking longer than usual, perhaps because we're in the outer pole. Yeah, it's been a while, so I'm a little nervous. No need to tense up so much. This craft isn't going to be of any harm. Phew. So your body will warm up a little as if you've done some light jogging. I see. Now, if you please. Bless. Understood. Whoa! Oh, shit! What the... A strange sensation. I can feel my physical body, but my consciousness is sinking, like it's getting sucked into a deep darkness. I like how you're going to describe this. Okay, I've established a link with you, Albus. Next is Rotona. Rotona as well. Selphine serves as the intermediary connecting the three of us. That allows all of us to share our consciousness. Is that even... What we will now conduct is referred to as a mind dive. It's a type of manacraft that falls under comcraft, which is mainly used to establish links between the conscience of one or more parties. How do you feel, Albus? Oh, hello. This all feels very strange. The sounds around us are slowly fading away, and that my consciousness is becoming trapped inside. Inside there's a girl, Selphine, whose existence is growing more and more pronounced. Uh-huh. You're just about ready too, Rotona. Could you bless, please? Understood. Suddenly now Rotona's joining my consciousness. I like how he's talking about it. Well, truly, there are no words I can use to describe this except for all of the ones that I used earlier. Let's begin. Oh, hey. This place is... Lab 9. How did we get in this place? This place is called... Mediastere. Okay. It's a space serving as the materialized form of your subconscious. A manifestation of my subconscious. Manifestation of my subconscious? Did my thoughts just flow out without my knowing it? We are currently in the realm of your subconscious. My subconscious? Your subconscious. All the things you wish to ask us and any information that you allow us to know is conveyed to us purely as is. In that sense, you ought to be able to hear my own thoughts as well. Her mouth isn't moving, but I can still hear her voice. I'm sure it comes as quite a surprise to you, but I'm sure you'll quickly get used to it. Let's see, how do I put it? It's as if I've wandered straight into a fairy tale. Normally, this craft, a mind dive, is supposed to last but a moment or two. Conversation that would normally last a full hour will only take a split second. Though there are some conditions that may cause it to take longer. Most of the time when there are multiple people like this, it does take quite a bit longer. This time, since there's 3 of us, so that it's less alienating to Albus, I've structured it as more of a conversation between us. I'm grateful for that, I suppose. Should I? Now I'm the one who can't follow the conversation. Should I? Now I'm the one who can't follow the conversation. Whoops. I can tell you're pretty nervous about all this, so I'll try to explain it a little better. As Rotona said earlier, Mediastere is a space manifested from your subconscious. In here, there's no distinction between truth and lies. The only thing here is the mana within your body and mind containing your pure and adulterated memories, and the unconscious mind that allows you to convey them. Conveying my memories, both my conscious and subconscious. Humans do have some memories which they'd rather not let others know of. Your conscious and unconscious self have the right to choose what they want to show to us and what not to. There are things you feel you must tell us and things you feel that you mustn't. For these sealed-off memories, even someone like me who can freely use a mind dive cannot peek into those. Essentially, except for the things you choose to tell or show us, the rest of it will not be conveyed to us. Can't believe such amazing technology actually exists in this world. It's magic, my dude. Mind dive is quite a peculiar craft. Only those who can use the path down can utilize it. Basically, it's a craft only royalty can use. It's not something that needs to be shared, so I'm keeping these thoughts and memories closed off. Is that so? I don't fully understand, but that means we can take our time here and discuss whatever we wish to at our own pace. No, we don't need to go about it in such a roundabout manner. You should be able to communicate via senses as well. Once you open up the information we need to exchange, whatever you'd like to share with us should freely flow out. Huh? Uh-huh. Nothing's happening. Looks like we need a little more time. Suppose this is what it's like dealing with someone from the outer pole. The flow of internal mana is a little stagnant. It will take some time for it to react. Why don't we relax for a little until you get used to it? Sooner or later you won't have to speak. Instead our consciousnesses will just freely share information. Alright. So this is really quite a strange experience. It's like I can see straight into the two of you. Lude. Your personalities, your humanity, I can perceive directly. We can say the same to you, Albas. This room represents who you are as a person. This space is clean and well organized, the lighting is just right, and the entire area is stable. It's a sign that your thoughts are coexisting amicably with ours. If the compatibility is off, then the incongruities in one's personality would either reject a mind dive entirely, or the space of the mediastere would be dark and warped. I see. Neat. I appreciate the compliments, but I'm not exactly the nicest person there is. The truth is, I've had some doubts about you two, that you may be industry spies. For all I know, you might have been sent by Hives. We've known. Rather, we'd felt that from him some time back. Now I see it so clearly now. Like the anxieties in my heart are being cleansed. The two of you are truly simply want to talk with me. And more than that, the two of you are truly worried about... The two of you truly are that worried about Sarah, oh god. Oh, it's begun. He's a narrator now.